Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting weekly episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is the 13th of November 2014, and we have a smaller video than we had the last couple of weeks. Been a few things that have come in on the reissue train. So far, none of the newer kits for November have shown up as of yet. We weren't really expecting them to. So we expected some of these reissues to start rolling in, but the new kits usually come out middle of the month or towards the end of the month. You get that first little initial rush for the first week, like we did with the Hasegawa Sunny last week, and then it goes dead here for a couple of weeks, and then it'll pick up at the end of the week. And that usually carries over into the beginning of the month when we get all of the new kit reissue announcements for the following month, and that's where we're going to start this week, because there are a bunch, I believe 11 altogether from Fujimi. These are all going to be December reissues, and they are all reissues. We're waiting to see, what that next big new tool will be stuck up their sleeve. I think we may have gotten gypped somewhat on that, based on that Hino Super Dolphin dump truck that's coming out this month. A lot of tooling dollars are going into those, like they did the Mitsubishi Fuso car hauler, to clean up the tools and demotorize them and things like that. So, at any rate, Fujimi, like I said, has announced what they're doing for December, and up first, they're going to be doing yet another version of their BMW Z4 GT3 in 2014 spec. This is going to be for the BMW Trophy Racing Series Studi number 7, and I actually have a concept picture of what the paint scheme is supposed to look like. There you go, right there. There was also a black pre-season testing car, apparently, and everything that's black on this car, letter-wise, would have been white. I'm pretty sure the white car will be what they go ahead and issue in this kit, because they've molded in white, and they've never done any black cars with anything else they've done. The Studi guys are also the ones that run all of the Pain Graphics, the anime cars. So this is their somewhat less fancy package as far as their graphics go. We usually say, they're going to release this, obscure car and this obscure car, and I never had pictures for it. I went and looked this time, and there you go. The other racing car for the month of December will be the 1/20th scale Tyrrell P34 F1 car. This will be in the spec for the 1977 British Grand Prix. The Tyrrell P34, probably one of the most notable F1 cars, just visually speaking, because it's the one that has the 6 wheels. It is that 6-wheeled F1 car. Tamiya has done this kit as well, and I haven't looked to see when that was out last from Fujimi, because again, I think we mentioned this last week. I'm not into the 1/20th F1 cars. I list the information for you guys who are, and you can do your research from there. From there, the reissues are sort of bunched into two different groups. One would be the Toge. This would be probably a butchered pronunciation of the translation of what in English would be Mountain Pass. These are sort of time attack style kind of cars. There's a kit series. Fujimi did like 25, 27, 20, 30 of these kits all together, and they're going to be reissuing some kits. These are things that really aren't that hard to find necessarily. Again, they're sort of restarting the series all over again. It was kind of odd because several of the ones that were from the Mountain Pass series in general were reissued at the beginning of the year underneath their Real Sports ID. If you ever notice the end of a Fujimi box, it'll have some sort of RS stash number, that's Real Sports, or EM dash number, that's the Enthusiast series, and so on and so forth. So anyway, they took a bunch of these Toad kits, or Tohei kits that usually have a TG tag with a kit number, and they really issued them as real sports cars. They were like a Celica, an MR2, and something else that slips my mind right now. I think it might have been 180SX. So anyway, they're reissuing several of those kits over again in this Mountain Pass thing. I believe all 4 of these are going to have like a new set of decals. That will be the thing about them that's different this time around, just based on what the machine translation says about them. It says something about includes stickers popular with us racers. I assume that means to be U.S. racers, but it might just been us Racer is just a bad translation of, popular with us racers. I don't know. We'll find out in December when they actually reissue them. But what they are the Volkswagen Golf second gen GTI, the EK9 Honda Civic late production, the 280Z Nissan 280Z Alium, I believe is how you pronounce that, and the 1995 Honda, remember the Fujimi, Japanese domestic kit manufacturer for almost completely, Honda Integra Type R. The Integra and the Civic have the left-hand drive components, both dashboard and windshield wipers and things of that nature, to convert them, but they, of course, would be like Euro spec or Malaysia spec or Asia spec, where they drive on the U.S. side of the road, so to speak. There are no Acura badges in the Integra thing, for example. Looking at the actual Tohei kit series itself, it looks like the Civic Type R was most recently reissued, and that was back in February of 2002, and all the rest of them are even older than that in that boxing. The EK9 late production Civic Type R was just recently rerun, not officially, but was just restocked everywhere in its non-Mountain Pass box. The Integra Type R is also usually always in stock everywhere in its non-Mountain Pass box. These kits are just, like I said, they're sort of bringing them back underneath that under that box art and kit category. I don't, at least from looking at it, the Integra and the Civic, which are the two ones I would be most interested in, don't seem to have any parts that are different from their non-Mountain Pass box components. They appear to be the same. Although, being reissued for the umpteenth time, they're also really cheap. I believe the Integra is like $9 and the Civic is like $11. And that doesn't take into account the current exchange rate, which probably makes them like $8 and $10. So, if you want one of these or a case of them, there could be they're real cheap anyway, but they're even cheaper this time around. And then there's going to be, like I said, 4 more kits that are going to be released with window masks. You may recall that Fujimi has really been going into this plan of attack, reissuing a bunch of kits with window masks added. These are the adhesive seals that go on the inside of the windows that allow you to paint the window trim without slopping your windshield and back windows all up. 2 of these kits are currently in production, and I know some friends were discussing they should just sell the window mask separately, but they're not going to do that. But for the 2 that are currently in production that you could back order or currently get, I know for one of these things, the Mazda Roadster. I love the fact, why am I calling it a Miata or an MX-5? I don't know, but this would be not the most recent generation of Mazda Miata, because nobody makes a kit of that, but the one right before the current generation. Mazda did a whole bunch of stuff, but Fujimi did a kit of the Miata MX-5 and a Mazda Speed version of it. This will be the regular, just factory stock MX-5. Like I said, I could get this at my local hobby shop, and I believe it was just recently restocked at my local hobby shop. I think somebody bought it, and they got one back, so it's not that hard to get them, but this kit will have a window mask, I assume just for the front windshield. I don't know that the back window that goes in the convertible, or I'm not sure that kit even has a hard top. I know it has a convertible top. Whether or not that kit has, a black trim around that window or not. Looks like, and the other kit that's out, let me say this before I give prices, it's the Nissan Stagea RS4V. Now, this is the station wagon Nissan, and that again was something you could back order, and both that and the Mazda look like they're priced about 900 yen higher than the currently available ones for the inclusion of those window masks, which is like 90 cents or so basically $1 more for these. Whether or not you think the $1 more is worth having window masks, for most people it probably is, because I know for a lot of people, painting the window trim is just one of the things that they really can't stand. And I personally can't stand it when you don't paint your window trim, because it looks just awful. The other 2, which haven't been around for a good long time, are a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 3 Now, a lot of people don't like the Fujimi Evo 3 because it's kind of a basic rudimentary kit. The Hasegawa one is better, although go try to find a Hasegawa Evo 3 for less than $50. Good luck. This kit has been out recently, actually still currently in stock at least Hobby Search, underneath their 2010 and 2011 reboxing as anime cars. The one that's currently in stock is in the series called Brighter Than the Dawning Blue. There you go. But you can order that right now, and it won't have the window masks in it. But I believe otherwise the kit is identical, except the one for this Brighter Than the Dawning Blue has, really garish anime girl pain graphics to put all over it. Other than that, it just is a straight Evo 3 GSR. It hasn't been reissued for a good long time. I can't find the last time it was released, which may mean it's more than 15 years since the last time it was released. The other one is the Mitsubishi Evo Lancer Evo 9. Now, there's no release dates on the issues of these that I can find, but I know that the car had to be made after 2005 because that's when the Evo 9 came out. So sometime between 05 and 07, they did about 2 or 3 of these Evo 9s. There was just a regular GSR, which is what this reissue is, as well as one with a wing, and then another one that may have, I can't remember what it was now. I think it was a rally art. But none of those kits, none of the Evo 9s have been reissued, I don't believe, since they came out. I believe they were like a one-and-dones. They may have been like kicked out in limited production, but certainly not anything significant, because if you go try to find the Evo 9s anywhere with like the information you would expect from a current release, as far as like the instruction scans, pictures of the kit contents, those don't exist. So they are older enough kits that the last time that they were released, people at Hobby Search at least weren't scanning the instructions and stuff like that. So that is the December Fujimi reissues. Whether or not the Mountain Pass kits interest you more than the current kits, if you want to wait a month basically to get kits that are probably in stock at your favorite Japanese retailer, I don't know whether or not it's worth it. Some of these people, obviously, even in Japan, we always make fun of the U.S. guys for collecting box art, but obviously that sells overseas as well. And there'll be people who have every kit in that collection with no intention to build it just because they have every kit in that series. As far as the Stagia and the Roadster, like I said, those are also currently available, or at least back orderable. The 2 kits here, that are of interest in the sense that they aren't commonly found would be that Evo 3 and the Evo 9. Although the Evo 3, again, is easy to find. The Evo 9 is kind of the thing that hasn't been around for a while, as well as, of course, the Z4 GT3 that, at least in the format that it's going to be in, doesn't exist before. It's coming out with masking seals in probably the BMW or Crown Plaza Resorts corporate logo that every single Z4 GT3 seems to be issued in from Fujimi. So, we'll find out exactly what that is here in probably a week or two. And, I believe that, guys, that's it for as far as December. That, other than, the stuff that Round 2 and Revell Wolf released, that's in the last 2 videos we've covered everything you can expect before Christmas. So looking ahead, we're going to look ahead in a different video. We still got that first quarter 2015 video to put out. Looking at what came out this week, it's pretty limited stuff. It's all Aoshima stuff. One sort of interesting thing is this. This is the picture of the real car that was then made into the box art for the 2008 Toyota Crown Athlete. This kit is actually a August release. Yeah, August release. So this one's a wee bit overdue. But, it's finally out. So, huzzah. I bought one of these a while ago, so it doesn't excite me the way a Crown normally would, I guess, which probably doesn't sound good, but, whatever. But as Blaze said, it's been hanging since August, and now it's finally out. The other stuff that came out would be some wheels and some part sets. You got the drift part set, which in this case includes a set of seats. Lost my train of thought. Well, a set of seats, a tack, and a couple sets of mirrors. And then the other one is the Sports Compact set, which probably most people know is the Spocom set. They don't have the box art available for this, so here's the instructions, contents. You get like a set of seats, a set of gauges, 2 different steering wheels, a tack, a nitrous oxide bottle, and a wing with that set. And they're like about $8-9 a piece. It's just sort of some random parts that were common to a bunch of Aoshima kits, and they decided that people had demanded basically, those be sold separately, and occasionally Aoshima rather will listen and sell stuff like this separately. Sort of the way they do the wheels. Speaking of the wheels, these wheel sets are the wheel sets for November. They are all from the Ray's wheel set from many moons ago. These are all pre-painted, so they are the color that they are. So, like these Volk Racing Wheel TE37s are white. They are pre-painted white. They aren't molded in white. They are painted white. The Racing Heart Type CRs here, they are pre-painted gunmetal in the middle. It's a chrome wheel with a gunmetal center. And then your Volk Racing CE28Ns are pre-painted in titanium silver. I don't mean to draw anyone's attention to the obvious here, but this proves, I guess, Aoshima's human, because those wheels on that GTR are not the wheels in the box. I mean, the wheels that are the big wheels right there on the left side are the wheels, but the ones that are attached to that GTR are not the same wheels. If you look at the boxes, I mean, we'll go back real quick. That's the same wheel. That's the same wheel. Yeah, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. So, anyway, guys, that is the week that was. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to do a speculation video and a first quarter 2015 video. So, we'll see you next week, and we really aren't expecting anything in the sense of new stuff. We know our new stuff for December, like we said. Right now, we're just waiting on kit releases through the end of the month. So, until we see you on the other side.